Alright, y'all. I know I promised y'all a video of an update, and I apologize for my voice. I just got over the flu. So, I had a video up, and I was doing something with my cat, well, at least one of my two cats, and a certain individual decided to take a snapshot of that video, and then that particular snapshot made the appearance that it was animal abuse. One, I will fight somebody who is abusing animals. Two, a snapshot means nothing. You could take any snapshot of anything and literally portray it to be something that it's really not. So, anyways, now that we've gotten that out of the way, this individual is a toxic person. I have dealt with this individual since February of last year. Approximately, I'd say October, November, I wrote 2 formal complaint letters to this individual's state. Now, the reason why I had to do this was this individual lives in a group home, and thus forth, the state provides this individual the internet. Because of that, there are rules that individual must follow while on the internet. Harassment is one of those rules he broke multiple times. Stalking, cyber harassment, defamation. This individual kept going, until finally a friend of mine told me who to contact. And I did. So the first letter went out, and the state representative for the department I wrote a letter to called me back and said, "We will look into this. This is definitely something the individual should not be doing while on our provided internet to his group home." And we went on from there. About a week later, I got a second call from a county individual, or county representative. I won't say individual, I'll say representative, local to that individual's group home at the county level. And that person was a program manager and said, "I have spoken to the individual by personally going to the home and showing the staff members the complaint, and then approached him personally, and I said, this will stop, because now you have created a very bad image for our services in our state, and somebody has formally complained against you, not even within our state, but 6 states south of us. Now, I don't know what's going on between y'all, but it's going to stop. Or we will monitor your internet, meaning any and everything you do, we will be privy to monitor. So that means if you want to look at adult content, we will know. We won't judge you for it, but we will know exactly what you look at. If you want to continue to harass people, we will know. And if you want to continue to be toxic and stalk other people, we will know." He said that the individual said he apologized. He tried to make himself a victim of what I have done, and we'll get into that in a minute. And that he felt it was within his right to defend his name and his image. And the representative at the county said, "Well, based on this report, and literally the things he has shown us, you had no right to say. The things he has shown us, the things he has stated you have done, you are not a victim here. And he has proof of this. And so he said the individual stormed off in a fit of rage into his room, slammed the door. So that's a win. Approximately 3 weeks after the first letter had been dealt with and acknowledged, I received multiple emails that my social media was attempted to be breached. Care to take a guess where it came from? The individual. So I was like, I think this individual may need another letter sent on his behalf. And I did. Excuse me. So I wrote another letter. The same person at the state called me back and said, I apologize. We thought we had this handled. Here is the number for that person for you to directly call, and I will forward the second letter to them, and you can speak to them again directly. So when I called that person, they said, oh, that was my boss that went to go talk to them, but I will speak to you because we are well aware of what's going on. So what has happened this time? So I emailed that person directly the logs of the 2 attempted breaches against my Facebook account. And both times it came down to the closest major city of this individual. And I'm not going to give you the information because it's irrelevant. Both incidents were within 24 hours of each other at a time that I know the individual is awake and usually very active online. And then the other 2 reports came from Twitter about 10 minutes apart. The first incident on Facebook and then the first incident on Twitter. Both of them resolved to the exact same location. Then came the next day, the second Facebook attempt and the second Twitter attempt. Both came from the exact same location and almost roughly the exact same time. It was about 9:10ish p.m. both times. So the second representative said, "Okay, I've got this all written down. I'll let my boss know, and we'll go from there." I apologize, y'all. Anyways, the next day, the boss calls me back and says, "Yeah, I'm driving over there again. We're going to suspend the internet from his computer. I just wanted to let you know that this is 100% unacceptable." And he said, "I will call you back once the meeting is over." And I said, "Sure, fine." So about 2 hours goes by. The representative calls me back and said that the individual literally begged him not to take the internet. And the representative said, "I'm sorry, but you were warned the first time. You are not going to be warned a second time." And he said that they had the ISP come out and forcibly prohibit him from getting the internet to his computer. So now he only has his cell phone. Well, the beauty of that is that his cell phone, he doesn't get unlimited data. Well, this individual is a really big gamer, and games take up data pretty quickly, as well as Netflix and everything else. So now, if he wants to watch Netflix, he has to go in the living room to do it. He can't watch whatever he wants on his own time. He has to work around his roommates. So now let's get into the backstory of what happened. Back in February, I created a post on Facebook talking about a specific subject. And one of my friends, a really good friend of mine that I've known for onwards of 20 years, made a comment. And this individual completely lost his cool. Why? I don't know. I really don't care either. He went on this tirade tangent that my friend was supposedly me using a fake account, alias lurking account. I don't have fake accounts. I have 2 Facebook accounts. One is my name. The other is a backup account also using my name. Just a slightly varied first name, my middle name, and my last name. My primary account uses my first and last name. So they're both my names. They're both me. I don't have any other accounts on Facebook. I don't have a need for it. He went on and on and on about all this, about fake accounts and all sorts of things. Well, then he tried to start stalking my comments on a couple of pages, and then he got banned from those pages, believe it or not. When I reported him for stalking and harassment, the admin kicked him out, and then kicked out what is actually a fake account. Some idiot named Jacob Trevor. I don't know who that person is, but it's clearly a fake account. And so that went on. In the gaming communities, this individual, because of his disability, of course, he only makes tiny, minute amounts of revenue. This individual has been kicked out of 13 gaming groups. 13. Pretty big ones, too. I personally kicked him out of 2. What he does is he goes into these gaming groups and he immediately demands, hey, help me with this. Hey, help me with that. Will you make me admin? Will you make me a moderator? Hey, I need help with this hardware. Can you help me buy this? Hey, what do you think about the Ukrainian-Russian war? Hey, what do you think about Biden versus Trump? Topics people don't want to talk about while they're gaming. Literally every gaming community I'm a part of has a rule. No politics. And that's the first thing he does. He talks about geopolitical and political topics. And people are like, dude, shut up. Nobody wants to hear about that. And then he'll immediately play the victim and claim that you're suppressing his speech, that you're racist or you're just whatever, a Biden supporter, child groomer, all sorts of insults. And it gets him banned. Well, he went from group to group to group to group to group. Nothing but toxicity. He would try to tell people about, oh, woe is me, my family doesn't like me, my mom hates me, she tries to get me in trouble. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants a pity party. So they just went on and on and on and on and on. Well, then that one Facebook post comes out, and he literally just lost control. He just kept going and going and going and going. Well, then my friend knew about a particular story that this individual tried to claim was a factual event. This one's going to get y'all. This individual claimed that one day at one of his group homes, oh, he's also been kicked out of 3 different group homes, claims he was moving because of his roommates. Not the case. Anyways, on one of his group homes, he claimed he was out in the front yard and had this stick. I don't know, whatever. He said it was a stick. And because of his location, a well-known Air National Guard unit who happens to fly the A-10 attacker aircraft was flying around, just minding his own business. But supposedly, according to this individual, was looking down on people's properties with his targeting camera. That's actually illegal for them to do. You can't just sit there and spy on people's properties randomly flying around. Well, the reason he says he knows they did this is because when he fell while holding this stick, and coincidentally as he fell and got back up, he was holding this stick up in the air, and the A-10 pilot claimed it was a rifle. It looked like a firearm, like he was trying to shoot a firearm at the A-10. And that within a few days, local county sheriff's deputies and the CIA came knocking at his door. The CIA. Well, there's just one problem with that. The CIA is actually constitutionally prohibited from doing exactly that. The second problem with that, the CIA does not do those things. Something like that, the United States Air Force Office of Special Investigations, USAF-OSI, handles things like that. So go figure that my friend, who just so happens to be a cop and has been for 23 years, and now works at the federal level, so he is definitely someone who is in the know. Literally told him CIA can't do that. OSI would be involved in that. Pulled the records of OSI, even FBI, DHS, everybody else, any potential agency that would even take up that claim, and no such claim exists for the area you say you live in, the individual. Well, this riled him up even more. And the individual just started, cursing, almost bannable from Facebook type language. He knew what he couldn't say, but it just kept going on and on and on. Then my messenger started dinging. Now he's sending me messages talking about, I'm going to sue you for defamation. I'm going to sue you for getting me in trouble. I'm going to sue you for getting me banned. And I was like, you can't sue for that, dude. Everything that got you in trouble was your behavior. The man literally could not accept any blame whatsoever. Well, then, after I finally blocked him, I get a call from my brother and sister-in-law. Apparently, he felt the need to dox them. He started blowing up their messenger with images of their house, their address, their phone numbers, their names. And so at this point, I was like, okay. Yeah, you've lost your mind, buddy. And beyond that, it just kept going on and on and on and on. Well, then not only that, he kept using Facebook groups. Now, how he did this, I don't know. He was already blocked. Now, on Facebook, when you block someone, you cease to exist to that person. There is no way for you to interact with that person. Well, I had this person blocked, but somehow he was adding me to chat groups. Somehow still finding the ability to add me to chat groups. How? I don't know. Frankly, I don't care. But I reported him over and over and over and over. This went on for like 15 different times. And each time I reported him, and then I blocked every person in that chat group. It turned out winding up to be about 50 different people. So my block list grew exponentially at that point. Eventually, once I kept blocking people and kept reporting them, I think Facebook finally sacked him with a jail term for harassment in chat. And that ended about June. Come back September, he gets on Twitter and starts making posts. He even went as far as to say, I was kicked out of the Civil Air Patrol for sexual misconduct. I have never in my life been accused of sexual anything, let alone gotten kicked out of anything, a job or any group or something as big as the Civil Air Patrol for sexual misconduct. It was weird. I mean, dude he could not accept the fact that I won. I got him in even more trouble, and he lost. What's that movie? Oh, yeah. Shooter. Danny Glover. I won. You lost. Get used to the idea. This guy's dumber than a bowl of bricks. He even went on to say, this guy claims he has friends in the Russian military, that he actively converses with military personnel from the Russian military. Then he goes on Twitter, I'd say about December. He goes on Twitter and says, Russia is at the point of FAFO. I wonder what his Russian military friends think about that statement. So, a friend of mine showed me this tweet, and I said, oh shit. So I had him screenshot that tweet. I sent it off to a few Russian news agencies and said, hey, check out this American who claims he has Russian military friends and what he said about your military and your country. Oh, the shitstorm that erupted out of that one. But because it was December, he had already had the internet taken from him. All he had was his phone. So I wonder how he dealt with all that. But that's why the one video got taken down. And that's the story about the community post that I made. And what happened with why the video got taken down. I have a few more. They're not exactly public friendly, but I just wanted to let y'all know, yeah, I don't abuse animals. I never would. Especially the one that entrusts me with his life, because he's a rescue kitty. I rescued him from when he was no bigger than my damn hand. So yeah, that's the last thing I'd check myself into a facility before I ever considered that. Going into leaving Williamson, West Virginia. Those of y'all that enjoyed my content from Williamson, I apologize. The reason why is because the family members that were there in Williamson are no longer there. They moved. I am still scouting for a good place where they are now. I just need to work up the schedule of traveling back and forth to visit them and looking for a decent place to go get the videos. Where they are, train activity is not very active, so I'm just working on it. There are a couple areas around there, but when you go on family vacations, typically you hang out with your family. Well, the only two places I know of that are even close, that are active rail lines, are an hour away in several different directions. I'm not going to drive an hour away from family just to record some trains and be away from the family while I'm there to visit the family. That's just, no, that's illogical. If time permitting and event permitting, then I will try to get some more videos of where they are now. And, well, we're getting into 25 minutes, so this video is going to be long enough to upload. So, Capstar362, be safe around trains. Don't be stupid around trains. Y'all have a good night. And don't harass people. My lord, don't be dumb. Especially to the individual who knows who I'm talking about, which I know he's going to see this video.